All right, his Watson opens up about what's going on with the Falcons and why he ended up on that Battlefire roster. It is what we expected. Honestly, it's probably even less than what we expected after yesterday's talk. But we've also got a podcast, an interview with the CEO himself, ImperialHal. Shout out to the the podcast with Enoch, Jumba, and Wyatt. Those boys have been putting on a killer show for a very long time. They got the CEO on there, and he dropped a lot of good stuff. So just a big disclaimer, this is a long episode. The full link to their episode is down in the comment or description below, but we've got a piece that we want to grab out of this that I think is a huge talking point and what the future of this Falcons roster may be like. We've also got some unfortunate roster news going on, some stuff in the Apex esports like college esports that just got announced, some more people quitting, and then some drama going on in the challenger circuit scene with some people getting caught hacking. So let's start it off with Hal. He shocked us by saying he wants to be an IGL again. What exactly was he talking about? Well, we'll just kind of let the clip speak for itself, but I do think that there's more going on than what Hal is letting off. He kind of makes it seem insignificant, like, yeah, but I think Hal is genuinely being pressed about, like, I really want to be an IGL. It's who I am. Roll the clip. Here's what he had to say.
So March 2023. So from then to now, what is the most important thing you've learned?
Yeah, the hard-hitting questions. There's like a spicy answer. There's one spicy answer, but then there's also one bland answer. I'll give you both.
That I was hoping you'd say that.
My first bland answer that I've learned is like not playing IGL is a lot harder than I thought. Maybe it's harder for me because I used to be an IGL, and playing that role outside of it is a lot harder than I thought. Making sure I don't like counter call and, say anything to even suggest or persuade Zero to lean onto my idea or whatever. It's a lot harder than I thought. But the spicy answer to me, I guess, I don't know if I miss or more so I think I just need to be an IGL.
Okay.
Obviously, but maybe that's just because like I've had, so much experience IGLing and I've always thought as an IGL or whatever. So like, and I feel like when I don't have the control of being an IGL or making the decision, like it bothers me. It's not like that bother is not to the point where like, oh my God, I'm going to leave Falcons after champs because I want it back to IGL. It's like just more so like,
put his ass on Newcastle. You got that.
But I don't know. I just, I don't know. I actually enjoyed playing. Like I thought I would also enjoy, I obviously do enjoy not IGLing, but like, even though IGL is a lot harder and a lot more pressure and, takes a lot more, I feel like that's who I am and that's what I should be. But obviously, like doesn't mean like I'm going to leave Falcons and be an IGL again or whatever it might be. Like that's just like a statement that I feel like I do miss it, and that like I feel like I do fit more of a role as an IGL and not like a fragger or whatever.
So as you can see, like, yeah, at the end of the day, Falcons are going to work through their issues. They're going to try to figure all this stuff out and become the super team like they are known to be. But I think deep down, Hal understands, look, that's my identity. That's who I am. I need to, fulfill my calling, my destiny. So what will happen in the grand scheme of things? Will Zero ever, let Hal IGL? I don't know. Will they have a dynamic shift? Will they have a roster change? Will Hal go back? I don't know what's going to happen, obviously, in the future. I think they're going to stick it out for a good while to come. They're going to try to navigate all of this for now, but it definitely looks like Hal understands that not only does he want to be, deep down I think he knows he needs to be. Like that's just who his calling is. And all of you have said that whenever we made this video talking about their roster issues or them getting last place at finals, everyone in the comments is saying they don't like the new version of Hal not being IGL. And it's not because he's bad or he's playing the role wrong or anything like that. He's probably doing a pretty good job, but it's just the fact that Hal is who he is. And we don't want Hal to be someone who he's not called to be, if that makes any sense. Anyways, that's the dynamic that's going on with the Falcons. Hopefully they can get all past this visa issue stuff and they can get locked in for the rest of BLGS. And then, of course, also at the World Championship. I'm honestly rooting for them at this. Like at first I was like, okay, they're becoming the villains, right? You've got this dojo team. But now after seeing this clip, I really hope Hal has some success. This will be good for him. Also wanted to make mention, what's going on with the Falcons as their substitute player was seemingly announced, and he was actually confirmed this on his stream. His Watson has been added to the Falcons roster. If you missed that video, go watch it from yesterday. But his Watson breaks down on stream why this happened, what this was all about. It's exactly what we expected. He's just a sub. Nothing crazy's going on. That's why I didn't make a big report over on Twitter or anything. But anyways, despite this happening, his Watson seems like quite the addition, we'll just say. I'm not sure how prepared he's going to be plugged in the matches, but it's going to happen at some point, especially with the zero visa issues. Here's what his Watson had to say. Roll the clip.
I'm a sub for Falcons. I probably won't actually be playing ever. Oh yeah, I do. That probably means I do have to go to Japan. Is IGLing? Dude, I have no idea. I signed up as a sub for them, assuming I would never have to play, and I could use it to flex that I'm the Falcon sub. I have no intent on playing, and if I have to play, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Hal knows who his daddy is. He's not gonna yell at me. He knows I'd grab him by the cheeks. I'd grab him by the cheeks and squeeze him. I'd be like, oh, it's my little Philip mad. Oh, is Philip a little angry?
Now, just as we recorded this part, Hal just literally 1 minute ago had posted Falcons will need a sub for this weekend and probably for future BLGS. So while his Watson was added to the sub spot, he's not actually participating as a sub, it seems. Watson has plans, he says, so we need to find someone else. You will 100% be playing this weekend with us, but no guarantee for the second week of BLGS since there's no clear details on Zero's visa. DM me and don't waste my effing time, please. So it doesn't look like the whole his Watson thing is going to be as big. Like I said at the beginning of the video, it seems like it's actually less of a deal than what we made it out to be yesterday. We knew it was not going to replace anyone like Zero. We knew he wasn't going to be a full-time person. We thought he just might be a sub for this weekend, but he says he has plans. He has no intent to play, as you can see from the video. They're going to be going with another substitute, and that one is still to be determined. So that's what's going on in the Falcons camp right now. Now, there are some other camps around esports right now for Apex that are going through their own issues. Taskmaster posted he is looking for a team/organization. That's right. DMS is now parting ways with their roster. Unfortunate stuff, but this is a trend that we're growing to see over the last couple of weeks and months at this point, especially pretty much everything past World Cup. People are starting to leave. And we called all of that from months ago. We kind of knew this was going to happen, but it's unfortunate to say the least. Also, you've got Tryhard Thor, former EXO player. Unfortunate once again, because this guy was so good at the game. I thought he was providing a lot of value for EXO, but he posted that he is quitting streaming and he is quitting Apex. This comes shortly after yesterday's video. We just talked about Vayne also quitting and moving on. I mean, in the last couple of months, how many have we had? We've had RKN, we've had we've had Tryhard Thor, we've had Vayne. I think we've had another in there. A couple other people that have moved on. Noko, obviously said he was going to Deadlock. A couple other people. There's another guy, Hardeki. Hardeki also did the same thing. They're leaving the game. So what's going on, and what does this actually mean for the future? I'm sure everything will be fine, but it does suck to see some people like this leave. Playing Apex has come to feel more like a burden to me than fun. That's kind of the growing trend we've seen, especially with Vayne's comments yesterday. I've been super burned out from Apex for months now, but I've just been pushing through it. I know retiring at 17 is crazy, but I want to go live my life. Good for you, dude, and thanks for everyone for everything. Really good stuff to see. Unfortunate to say the least, but obviously I'm sure he's got a bright future ahead. Also wanted to make mention, a big announcement was just made yesterday. Octane Collegiate posted that Collegiate Apex Legends is here to stay. This is not just some motivation to try to get you behind their camp or get them on board. They are now officially partnered and affiliated with EA and officially licensed with EA. They've been kind of running this whole collegiate scene like on the down low, or kind of just like, by themselves, whatever. And we've seen former world second place at World Champs Loopy, their coach, basically he's been running this college stuff for a while for Apex and many other esports out there, but they were kind of the pioneers for this stuff. And now, after all this time of working on it and hoping that it would grow to something bigger, and even Zephyr, also another person in that scene, finally licensed by EA. So college Apex esports here to stay, here to move on, here to progress, and here to get bigger. I'm really excited about this. We're going to start covering a lot more college esport content over here for Apex, so make sure to stay tuned. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Lastly, wanted to mention some drama going on in the Challenger Circuit world. Infinite J had posted that he had bookmarked someone hiding their name getting boosted by rage cheaters. They finally changed it back, and it turns out they were an LCQ finalist. this is obviously some really big accusations, and the person actually came to kind of defend themselves, and that's where Infinite J dropped all of this stuff. So starting it off, he said, this is the account that I had bookmarked. You could go through, you could see their gains, and oh my gosh, were they gaining? They were gaining a lot. I mean, like a lot. It was consistent. Every single back-to-back game, they were just winning nonstop. Wasn't even close. Putting this here before the name will change soon, it was Jam. And then he goes on to say, here was the proof that they were in LCQ. This was their team, and you can't hide it now. And you could see, once again, AKA Jam was on this roster. Well, then I had also commented, like, this is kind of before we knew what was going on. I said, drop the name, please. We had this full link, and you could see the ID from this account that he supposedly had sold. So the guy who was caught in this said he sold his account. This is not even him anymore. Here's the ID. And then you can also see him saying, you know, basically, that's not me, blah, blah, blah. I sold this account 2 months ago. I haven't touched it since. Or he says 2 to 3 months ago, I sold the account and I haven't touched it since. I'm currently in play with proof. This guy is funny and reaching for stuff like this. But then later on down here, he says, before I sold it, it was mine. And this was from a tournament, by the way. This was from a tournament like yesterday, 2 days ago. Anyways, later on, he says that, you know, here's why I was playing in this tournament yesterday, blah, blah, blah. So now it's, I sold it 2 to 3 months ago, but now it's like, well, here's my explanation for why I was on it yesterday. So blah, blah, blah. Anyways, long story short, Hideouts must have found suit of all of this, or must have found all of this, because that same ID, just minutes after those tweets were going live and everybody was commenting, I think me and Burno had also commented. It probably got some traction. Someone got a hold of it. That account has now been banned. So it looks like there was some kind of check, and it was determined that, yeah, they were definitely misusing the system, being boosted by cheaters, possibly cheating themselves. Who knows at this point? Everybody's cheating, it seems like, at some point. Everybody's hiding it. Anyways, like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all things out of the world of Apex Legends esports news. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.